Communication today is more multifaceted and intrusive than ever before. And this interweaving with the minute-to-minute fabric of our daily life, it just deepens, particularly in the workplace. The result is historically unprecedented demands on our time and concentration. Employees now regularly process a glut of information amid ever-buzzing phones and an ongoing barrage of texts and emails. The impact is that attention spans are compromised like never before. Time management expert Dave Crenshaw, author of The Myth of Multitasking, has discussed this impact of the switching cost on our brains having to pivot between competing priorities, noting studies indicate that multitasking impels you to make more mistakes and increases your stress. Meanwhile, Glenn Wilson, visiting professor of psychology at London, England's Gresham College, notes that research has shown that people's problem-solving performance dropped by the equivalent of 10 IQ points when they multitasked. It can result in a distracted blur, affecting comprehension and accurate note-taking, which leads to misunderstandings among those involved in a shared undertaking. It's important that team members come together to realize a project's successful, timely completion. My tip on how to organize that shared information so that all those overwhelmed stakeholders remain clear and current, it's the Synopsis email. The Synopsis email can function as a multi-purpose tool and a collaborative project. It provides a snapshot of where a project is or was at a specific point in the process, and also acts as meeting minutes where none officially exist. It acts as a recap of a conversation or conversations, confirming agreements, deliverables, and next steps. It clarifies what is going on so that everyone is on the same page. It functions as a process document to be kept on file. Here are some tips on what you need to consider when composing your Synopsis email. Write the email as soon as possible after the meeting. That way, everything that was discussed will be clear in your head and fresh in the mind of the recipients. Recap the key details, decisions, and next step delegations that were agreed to during the meeting. Be sure to include any deadline dates, expectations, or responsibilities, as well as any changes to the core strategy. Identify ambiguities or inconsistent information. If you're not clear about something that was talked about during the meeting, then the Synopsis email is the perfect venue through which to discuss and clarify these ambiguities. Discuss what it is that you're uncertain about, and the responding dialogue in the email thread should clear up those ambiguities for yourself and others. It may also unwittingly uncover some previously missed discrepancies, as some of the people involved in the project may have seen things a bit differently. The Synopsis email is the perfect forum for these people to chime in with how they've understood things. Discuss any rethinks you may have had or any new relevant information. Maybe you've had a rethink about some of the items up for discussion among the participants, and you want to share these ideas with the group. Maybe you've got new strategies, you've got ideas to consider. Well, the Synopsis email is the perfect place to air those ideas. You can put them out there and participants can respond and comment. Ensure the correct people receive the email. Before sending the email, take a moment to consider the recipients you have lined up. Is there anyone who should have this information but currently isn't getting it because they're not part of the email thread? Or, alternatively, have you CC'd people that really don't need to be receiving this? People can be overcopied on things, adding to that stressful inbox pileup. So take a moment to ensure that everyone you're sending this to is an appropriate recipient. Think of the Synopsis email as a record. Keep the Synopsis email as a reference document, as it can later be a great snapshot of where a project was at a particular point in time. These can be great reference tools, particularly for new participants or supervisors coming onto a project already in process, or to help diffuse disputes about previous expectations. The Synopsis email is a simple but important tool that can be used as a communications forum and a project record. It helps things move along with clarity and harmony, and once you have everyone working in unison, it's easier to get things done expediently and correctly. Let's review this episode's main points. See the Synopsis email as a project tool that recaps and clarifies key points and next step directives for those involved. Write it as soon as possible after the interaction, as the details will still be fresh in your mind. Be sure to identify any area where there may be ambiguities and open this up for discussion. Think carefully about who does and doesn't need to receive or be copied on the email. Retain the Synopsis email thread as a project history document. Until next time, this is Brent Wooten at writingandeditingtipsandtricks.com. Keep moving and get the words out.